Good evening, everybody. Hopefully that helps. A little bit. I'm just doing my evening sound check. How's everybody doing? Loud and clear. I can't say that I like this energy that keeps popping in. Tariq, its ugly little head. Somebody wants to drop. Somebody wants you to drop your boundaries. They don't want you in this nurturing energy. Because they know when you're in this nurturing energy, they're not invited. They're feeling left out. They figure if you're in an energy of lack and stressed out with migraines and worry, that you're more easily to manipulate. Because they miss you. They're running away in denial. giving every excuse in the book. Yet they can't run away from the rumors, the gossip. All that shit they said about you. The fact that you blocked them and moved on. Where you're no longer hopeless. Everything they did against you didn't work. They thought they were clever. And now they're all resentful and discontented. Because you're finding value in the world. Some people can be so sadistic. They tried to shatter you. It was to take you out of your whole idea of daydreaming. They thought you were delusional. Welcome in, everybody. If you want, hit the like button to tap in. I want to give a big, huge thanks and a shout out to all my supporters. Thank you so much. My members, my subscribers. Thank you for being my checkmate. My tribe. They wanted you over your head, overextended, and to hit rock bottom. They wanted you drowning. They were laughing, but they're not laughing anymore, collective. Now they're into some sort of legal battle. And I think they're done with the competitiveness and the envy. I think they've dropped that now. Things are going to start moving better for you. You're not going to have to be so cautious or insecure or guarded. Things are going to be confirmed. These people that come up against you that were two-faced, they will be facing consequences. They wanted a vacation. Well, there was no vacation. All I gotta say is the divine sees everything. You know I couldn't do it without you, right? Really, to some degree. In hindsight, I couldn't have done it without you two. Yeah, somebody doesn't want you walking away. Somebody's hanging on for dear life, and now all of a sudden, now that you're pulling away 100%, now that you're making up your mind, now they want to call truce. Now that you're finally making your own decision, done waiting around for them to make one, now they want to call truce. Make it make sense. Five of Swords. They want to put the fighting to rest. They're saying that you're closed off, that you don't know what you're talking about. Again, delusional. You're stuck in your ways. They just fail to hear your understanding, is what it is. Yeah. You're connected to something a little deeper, a little higher. Yeah, you're finding your self-worth again. You're nurturing yourself. You're nurturing your heart space. You're healing. You know that this was all manipulation. It was to hold you back from moving on. They were never really interested in you to begin with. And the fact that you're finding your self-worth, you're showing your self-care. This is how the Wheel of Fortune's now working in your favor. You're no longer hung up on the delusions. You're showing up for yourself and you're working with your priorities. You took time to go within to make sure that everything was going to work out. And you double checked everything of your plan forward. Yeah. You're standing up and you're getting back what was taken. Yeah. The fact that they manipulated you, the fact that they brought chaos to your stability, this is justice for you. It's because you didn't stand down. There was a particular nostalgic energy from the past. They're coming back again. It is your justice. They're going to come in very passionate. This is a good energy. This isn't a bad ex or an abusive one or anything you would have to worry about. It's a good one. They're actually coming in to support you. This is going to bring a huge tower and a major change for you. You're going to have a major decision to make. gonna have you all up in your head. You know that you can do better. It's like there's a fire sign and an air sign coming in. They're delaying you from your blessings. I hope you know that. There's a bunch. But you will be receiving justice. That's a very specific reading. If it's not your reading, then don't try to make it fit. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up. Now I gotta look into the comments. What is going on, Dorothy? What? This is the big dilemma, guys and gals. You know, I could get all the donations, I don't know, in the millions, let's say. And it doesn't matter what I would get, I wouldn't be able to build a big enough place to house everybody that I would want there. To be able to help people get out of the bullshit situations that they're in. And then I'm like, okay, so do I work with the governments? Do I work with the health system? Do I work with the community centers? Do I work with the outreach centers? Do I work with, you know, the community, like whatever center, like. And it brought me back to myself. If I'm not strong within myself, how can I be strong for others, right? It's not necessarily that we need to have a place to go. We should be able to find some sort of peace in the space that we're in. But mainly within ourselves. So it doesn't matter where we are. We can always find peace outside of the chaos. And then I got to thinking, if we vibrate our frequency high enough, and we emit this across the world, across the earth, would that not raise the frequency so then we don't have to deal with the negativity ever again? And maybe the whole reason why the status quo and the so-called powers that be are trying to diminish us is so that way we don't ascend and we don't bring ourselves into the higher realm. Because if we do, then it makes them obsolete because they can't vibe at the higher energy. And the reason why they try to keep us in fear is to keep us more controlled within a simulation within the matrix. A different situation is a different programming, a different fear, a different medium, a different distraction. The moment you start seeing your reality as that, and you start reading it differently than what it actually seems to be, what we're told that it is, it's a game changer. Put the sexy glasses on, and everything you look at is sexy. Put the donut eater glasses on, and everything that's shitty looks sugar coated. And again, what's food for the spider is chaos for the fly. And a bee doesn't go around explaining to the fly why flowers are better than shit. Alright. So what are we going to look into today? That was an odd vibe kind of energy. Let's look into the oracles first. Thank you, David. Alright. We got karmic relationship on the cut. I'm getting tired of this energy. Oh, okay. Well, they're learning some sort of lesson. Okay, so spiritual message on the bottom. We got karma on the top. And we've got what in the middle? Ooh, a message of chaos in the middle. Alright, this is getting a bit spicy. Interesting. What is it? What have we got, Spirit? Submission. They're submitting. Okay. What else? Oh. You can't help them. I don't think it was your job to help them anyway, Collective. Yeah. They're kind of sad you don't need their help. They're finding out what they lost because you're cutting them off. You don't need their help to begin with, I don't think. I think that's a situation. They thought you were going to need them. Message of caution. Some people made bets on what and how long it would take for you to come back, Collective. The secret's out. They didn't take you seriously. And they don't have a prayer to save their ass. All they did is lie to you, and they created a storm that you could barely weather. They tried to poison you. They tried to poison your thoughts, your emotions. And you might be feeling guilty about burning a bridge. It wasn't yours to make a decision. They made it on their own by how they acted with you. There is no bridge to repair here. It's not even the fact that they wanted you to have nothing. They wanted you to be nothing. It's better to manipulate you. It's better for you to be a puppet that they can control than a storm that they cannot. Collective, you are the storm. Don't you ever doubt that. If you are here today hearing this message, you are the storm that you've been searching for. This is the dead end. This is the dead end where you feel that you're worthless. This is the dead end at which you feel that you do not have the power within you. This is the dead end in which you feel that you don't have the ability, because infinite possibilities are before you. Integrating your masculine and feminine together in a union. And not only that, inviting your inner child to be a part of that, as well as your inner teenager and the different parts of you, embracing absolutely every part of you. Every part of your war cry, every part of your protest, and recognizing it, showing up for it, for yourself. Asking the unknown questions and making a vow, not only to yourself but humanity. Knowing that there's a thread that binds us all in unity. The barren lands are only barren if we let them. What we say, what we do, how we heal, it is extremely important for humanity and the planet. Satire is only beneficial when it's boring, when there's nothing left to say. All this time looking for someone to guide you, not realizing you are the guide. You are the one that you've been searching for. You are the one to reconstruct your reality the way you see it. Invoking your inner warrior, your inner strength, allowing it to guide you. You're coming out of the time of shadow. For the ones that were doing the work, this message is for you. Yeah, you are the messenger. Part of your ascension is realizing that you are the messenger. The shadow was, in aspect, the reason why and the catalyst to your growth. People tried to take away your power. People tried to take away your vision. People tried to take away your voice, and you're the messenger. You did the work. And you've come out to express your understanding, and people tried to take that away from you. Someone tried to take your microphone. Mm-hmm. They didn't want you persevering either. They tried to drop your influence and your frequency in order to drop your protection. But you were assertive, and you, despite not having the vision of who, you felt you felt it. They tried to put you in this idea. They tried to, when they took your power and vision and your voice away. They tried to put you in this place of self-reliance, of having to rely on someone else, and take you out of the self-reliance aspect to basically feel powerless. It was to break you. It was to pull you out of your vibrancy. It was to pull you out of your light and make you vulnerable, to get you to submit. To remove your grace, to remove your sovereignty, and to invent an illusion that you were crazy for not having a voice to speak, for not having any sovereignty, for not having any vision to move forward. But little did they know of your independence that would ensue within you. Little did they know how unprepared they were. You have an inner calling about you, collective. And you are a guardian to many different realms. They tried to diminish your fire and your confidence. They thought they were very clever. But no one fools the fox. This means freedom, collective. You got new love coming in as well. There is going to be an offer coming in trying to take away your personal choice. And this is regarding your prosperity. Do not accept it. This is an illusion, and it is a test. Rebuke it, send it back. Sacred Feminine, what do we got for the collective? Yeah. I had a bit of a creepy download earlier today. And it kind of brought me back to the book of knowledge. And there's one particular book I have. Um, some people mistaken it for the Emerald Tablets, but it's not. It's a book uh, en- encased in emerald. It hasn't been seen for centuries. I don't really like talking about this type of energy on my live. I'm being called to talk about it, but I don't want to. I'm resisting. Sort of kind of in protest. But a lot of it is what brought me to my remorse of Christianity and why I feel that it's an absolute disgust. The particular subject matter isn't for the faint of heart. And upon a Christian's ears, it would be a blasphemy. But then it would be an absolute huge wake up call all at the same time, if they'd actually only consider it. This whole idea that Jesus gave his life for you, for your brothers and sisters, it's not a lie. At the time that he became the sacrifice, the sacrificial lamb, he offered his life and his essence and his blood up to Lucifer, so that way he would not come for you, that he would be the ultimate sacrifice to Lucifer. So when you talk about the blood of Christ, you're talking about the Luciferian sacrifice. Change the whole perspective of Christian being a Christian. And I find it odd that all these Christians are walking around all holier than thou, talking about a Luciferian sacrifice and worshipping idols that shouldn't be worshipped. Jesus wasn't meant to be worshipped. He was a way shower. He wasn't a god. He's the one that was one of the first to find true enlightenment within that time era. And because he found it, and because he tried to share that with people, because he tried to do the right thing. He couldn't bear the pain anymore. And because he offered himself up, the divine saved him and sent him the three sisters to whisk him off to another land, where he lived with Mary Magdalene and bared children and provided the bloodline that is alive to this day. Little bee. Oh, you can't keep Little Bee down. You know, she's one of my toughest soldiers. So what do you think about this angle? Is it different or what? Do you like it? It's not so live feed, isn't it? Like you can't live feed me on the live feed now. You shouldn't be able to scroll up. I have a feeling this might actually work a little better. There doesn't seem to be as many trolls. We all have the power and we all have the ability to reach true enlightenment. But we must go through our heart space and connect it with our mind and bring them to balance and equilibrium in order to get there. We can take the same footsteps that Jesus took to true enlightenment. Doing so as a collective will bring us to 5D Earth. And this is why I've been extremely predominantly focused on getting you guys to heal. Because we are at the precipice of a life-changing event on the planet, and we're all a part of it. And if you want to be a part of it, great. If you don't want to be a part of it, that's okay too. The trolls are usually in the live feed. They're looking for me in the live feed. They don't find me. They see me live, but they don't find me in the live feed. So they can't come in and troll and leave. Now they gotta actually do the work to find me. Hugs right back at you, Ryan. The future shows financial gain through either a business transaction or inheritance. You will gain in status and hold a position of some importance. Dun dun dun. These messages may resonate. Take what does, leave what doesn't. Low battery. I guess I don't need to do sound check anymore. This card indicates a miscarriage. If not for the person drawing this card, it could be for someone in the family. The future shows profit made from travel and a happy outcome, despite the fact. Beware of quarreling with a relation or a friend. This could be caused by money problems, which will lead to emotional difficulties. You could lose or forget where you put your handbag or wallet. So mind your money, people. Mind your money. There we go. All right. What do we got for the collective? You drink too much. I haven't drank in a while, actually. You drink too much. If not alcohol, too much caffeine. Okay, you got me there. You prefer friends of the opposite sex and have very few close friends. Okay, and? You will soon have success in your grasp. However, you could let it slip through your fingers if you're apathetic. A stroke of luck is indicated. This card indicates that a successful negotiation of a difference of opinion will occur. You will achieve harmony after a time of squabbles and disagreements. This will be gained through your strong sense of justice. However, you could experience difficulties in love. You could also overindulge in food or drink. Moderation in all things is your key to the future. You will gain through the goodwill of good friends and travel. You'll reap the benefit of your past efforts, and you have built up a goodwill in an unexpected area. This card indicates a bright future ahead, opportunities for new beginnings both at home and in business or work enterprises. A strong possibility of extra money through inheritance could also mean birth of a child in the family. You are going through a period of lack of personal creativity. This is causing you to be critical of others with artistic ability. The future indicates trouble with friends or colleagues at work. On the other hand, now is the time for you to think about business, as constructive and favorable forces are at work. Money will be gained through speculation and or partnership. You may be too easily offended and far too sensitive. You look for insults where there are none intended. You are vain and worry too much about the way other people see you. You will suffer mentally and physically if you are misunderstood. You will deny yourself at times in order to satisfy those that you love. You have a creative imagination, and this will enable you to fulfill your desires. Be careful of imposing your will too harshly on other people. You can be too ruthless in getting your own way and too stubborn to accept other people's opinions. On the contrary, the opportunity will arise for you to make gains through property. This card indicates travel or progress. You have reached an important stage of your life and can step forward with confidence. Hmm. Yeah, we didn't even get into the sacred feminine yet. Yeah, best be careful on the monster drinks, Ryan. I be cutting back on that. Try matcha tea. The actual matcha is really, really good. It's a lot more healthy. It still has caffeine, and it doesn't give you the crash that caffeine does. And the monster drinks, they're not filled with anything really good either. It's yucky stuff. But ultimately, do what you want. I'm just giving you some tips. Very sacred feminine. What do we got for my collective? What's the message for my collective? I like picking my favorite fruit. For me, it's banana shake. And I like whole milk. I'll put whole milk with some bananas and maybe a little bit of caramel. And then I'll throw some matcha tea in there. It's yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Alright, what do we got going on? Attitude of gratitude. That's the first thing I said when I come in. I said thank you for being you. Really? You really want me to talk about this? Alright, so the message that I'm getting here. One particular card I can't show you. because of the breastises. But anyway. So we got the universal Christ in the reverse, and there's a great deception, thinking that the old biblical way of going about being a chosen one is the way to go, and using the old deception. Now, I'm not diminishing God. I'm recognizing the essence of the divine in its truest form, in its most simplest form. This is the same essence of the divine, the same light that Jesus spoke about. And because of the blasphemy on his name and the particular book of riddles that's been created and the deception behind it, it has created a dishonor. It's like spitting in the face of the divine. You can tell a true chosen one because a true chosen one has riddled themselves away from religion and spirituality. They've had no other choice but to go within themselves to find the true essence of the divine within themselves. And they know enough not to recognize it as a deceptive, narcissistic, cryptic, judgmental God. It's all a deception. And this deception has been integrated into our intimacy and the ability to be intimate not only with ourselves but other people. And intimacy happens at different levels of existence. The equivalent of being close with a neighbor, being close with a family member, being close with a friend, being close with a colleague, being close with an animal or a child, being vulnerable, being compassionate, being loving, being kind. It has different levels, different understandings. And the fact of the deception has brought darkness into that intimacy. It has brought darkness into that connection within the universal consciousness. It's been made out to be something that it's not. It's making a judgment call about the destruction, the degradation of knowledge and wisdom. It's taken away it's taken away the ability to be vulnerable within today's society. in essence, it's part of our issue with the world right now. A lot of our pain and suffering goes back to the beginning of slavery. It's so many generations deep. It's very difficult to come out of it. It's to remove intention. It's to remove control and security over one's autonomy and one's life. And it's to turn away any fulfillment or celebration or evolution. It's to gaslight any perception and remove any resourcefulness, leaving you powerless. Removing passion and creativity out of the mix. This is what's basically been happening to humanity this last era. Yeah, we didn't see this coming. It was basically to challenge us into an awakening and to find our security and independence. But it all depends on whether or not we want to answer the call. Got a new offer coming in, collective. We definitely will be shown the way. But we have to stand and fight for what we have right now. We have to stand for our sovereignty. It's humanity. The new way will be provided. And it's not going to be any cockamamie bullshit that they think that they're coming up with. All that shit's going to fail, epically. We're going to have no other choice but to rely on our community. So the sooner we start strengthening our communities, the better. And we're going to do that through teamwork, not division. They're trying to create division so that way we don't mobilize. And it's not even about mobilizing and taking over control. It's about standing up for humanity. It's about standing up for autonomy. It's about standing up for human rights. That we don't deserve to be treated like this. We don't deserve to live like this. And if a so-called system was put into place to take care of that and they're not doing their job, we should have the right to stand up beyond it to do what we need to do to make it right. There's a lot of people out there right now hoarding a lot of money that could have been redistributed. Quite frankly, all these people hoarding money are part of the problem. It's one thing to invest, but there's no reason why you should have trillions of dollars in the bank just sitting there doing nothing. When there's people out there hungry, frozen, homeless, houseless, going through devastation after devastation, there's no reason for you to have that much money in your bank account and for you to sit on it that way. No. There should be a redistribution of wealth back to the people. There should be a cap on how much that you can earn. And once you earn a certain amount of money, all that money extra goes back to the people. Well, they're making this money out of thin air. So whether or not they're making more or not, it's irrelative to the situation. The fact is they may be making more, creating an inflation, but they're keeping it for themselves. They're not helping humanity. All right, Ryan. The reason why is because you're pre-medicating. You're self-medicating, and instead of dealing with the reason why you were drinking, you just switch out the anxiety. You swap out your drug for something else. So instead of dealing with the why, the purpose is the reason why. Like, for instance, I smoke cigarettes for the nightmares. It subsides the nightmares. If you have a decent enough why, it's one thing. But if it's something that you can work out, like drinking for once. Drinking, it kind of helped me feel numb from the pain of all the bullshit and the abuse that I've dealt with. And once I started, instead of drinking it away and feeling numb about it, it's more or less, yes, the nicotine stops the nightmares. It tends to slow your abilities and dim your abilities. But as soon as you start sitting with it and healing from it and empowering yourself and learning what you can and finding the silver lining, the need to drink is gone. The need to mask and feel numb is gone. Now, I might drink to celebrate, and even that's even questionable. Otherwise, I'm not drinking every day, as far as alcohol is concerned. I might drink once a year. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I'm not giving you no bullshit. It doesn't take a 12-step program to get out of it. It's just the fact that you need to deal with your pain and the suffering and the reason why you're doing it in the first place. And once you can figure out and nip that in the butt, the whole purpose as to why it disintegrates. You know, unless you have something to celebrate, you shouldn't have a drink in your hand. And celebrating the fact that you got another day to live doesn't mean it's what you're doing with it. Are you drinking yourself away celebrating every day because you got another day? Or are you doing something about it? And I'm calling myself out on that. Because some part of me wants justice, but some part of me just wants peace. And in order to get that justice, it seems like it's a huge fight to get that justice. And it shouldn't be. I shouldn't have to fight and scream for my life to get justice. It should be laid out to me on a fucking silver platter at this point. But here we are. The fact that I've tried to reach out for help and support, and it fell on deaf ears. And the only support that I seem to be getting is here on YouTube, which I am extremely grateful for. I am in that attitude of gratitude. And for the ability to be heard here on YouTube. To be able to share my voice and my wisdom with you. In essence, that is justice for me. But for the people that come up against me, for them to be held accountable would be justice. That would be sweet justice. To get back the money that's rightfully mine, that would be sweet justice. To not have to ask my tribe for support, and to be able to support my tribe instead, that would be justice. But they're doing everything and anything and everything in their power to create that hole too. To the point where I can't even support other people. I can't even support myself. And they keep doing this so that way they have something to laugh at. Meanwhile, had I been just left alone, I'd be succeeding, I'd be thriving, I would have my own life, I'd be living my own life. But apparently the people that shine the light aren't allowed to have anything nice. Oh, Ryan. You've left me speechless. Some things we just cannot unsee. And some things that we see haunt us. There's really nothing that we can learn from that. And I can understand how this might haunt you every day. The only thing I could really take about that is how precious life really is. And how it can literally be gone in a second. And we need to be in the attitude of gratitude for every minute we got. Despite it all. And this is why I've focused on finding healing and bringing peace to myself. Because I deserve it, and so do you. After all we've had to endure. It's not fair. It doesn't matter how many years it was. Seems like yesterday, Ryan. I get you. Short brown hair, kind of skinny build, between 5'9", 5'10", 5'11". Does that mean anything to you, Ryan? Does that resemble your brother? He feels stupid. He feels stupid. He feels very stupid. He feels shame. I see him sitting there with his crying, with his face in his hands. He knows he fucked up. He's also acknowledging the fact that just before this happened, he started getting spiritual. And it's mainly because Spirit was trying to get him to stop whatever he was doing. It was a really dumb idea. Spirit's also saying it was built on a misunderstanding. So it wasn't even based on valid points of reference or wisdom or fact. It wasn't just your dad, Brian. And it wasn't just the debt. There was a couple different situations that he got himself into. It's almost giving me the feeling of get rich quick scheme. And he got swindled and pretty well scammed. That's what threw him over the edge. It's like he was putting his last dollar into something and it didn't work out. He's saying that he should have known better. He was barely coping about his dad. And having to show up for you and the family and everyone and try to be the responsible one. It was a lot of pressure on his shoulders. But when he spent his last dollar for this get rich quick scheme and got scammed, that's what threw him over the edge. He's per- he's he's apologizing profusely. Like he's not. He feels so shameful the way he left it, the way he ended things. Because he sees how it haunts you. And if you could take that away and change his tune and change his whole trajectory, he would have. He regrets it all. And he regrets not showing up for you more. Because he's also recognizing there were times where you actually asked him for help. You needed his help. And he wasn't there for you. He was actually very quite cold to you. And that, at that point, that wasn't even him you were speaking to. He wants you to acknowledge that. No, he's coming back to me. He's like, no, Aiden, you tell him that he did not deserve it. I feel ashamed for doing that. He did not deserve it. When he needed his brother the most, I was not there for him, and he's not living it down. He's living in shame because of it. All the pain and the trauma and the suffering that you've had to deal with because of him, because of the situation, he wished he could take it all back. So if you could find it in your heart to forgive him, he would take it all back in a second. No thought. The reason why you feel him quite a bit is because he has not went to rest. He's not resting. He's watching over you. He's watching over you and the family. He's he's giving me papers on the floor. Like you'd pick up these papers, you'd put them on the table, you'd walk away, and they're on the floor again. There's no windows open. There's no nothing open. You're just having to continue to pick these stupid ass papers up off the floor and put them back on the table. He's giving me this experience. He's saying this was him trying to get your attention. In essence, to clean up your room, because there's something that you thought you lost, you're going to find it. Something that you've been looking for. But you need to do a deep clean of your room to find it. He's also acknowledging something that he left behind for you. He put it in a particular place that you would know about. He's also acknowledging that. This particular picking up the papers and whatever else, this was back at a time that you were restless, that you kind of. He's saying you kind of let things slide for a while. And I think it was just shortly after his death. Hey, girl talk. Hey, Chris. I'm not sure if I do or not. Kind of rings a bell. Sweet dreams, Dorothy. They're little carrot cake cookies with Philly cheese icing in the middle. Ryan, thank you for showing up and allowing me to be available to bring peace to your mind and your heart. What I do is not easy. It takes a great discernment, a great trust. I wish you peace of mind and heart, Ryan, and nothing less. Is there anything Spirit wants to say to Ryan? Hmm. Ryan, you're in the precipice of stepping into a new timeline. Okay? Please be compassionate with yourself. Very much nurture your truth. Don't allow yourself to be gaslit by anyone else or even to gaslight yourself. Stand on your sound mind, stand on and focus and guard your pentacles, guard your prosperity, guard your peace. You very well could be in a sad time frame right now, but that's about to change. You're feeling rather disconnected, and you're fighting at all costs. There is going to be an offer of stability coming in for you. It could be a new job, it could be a new house, it could be some sort of something of prosperity, of stability. Okay? You're coming out of the worst time. You're coming out of the worst of it. Have a good night, Sky Viking. You know you deserve better, so that's why you're striving for better, and you are getting the recognition for standing on your truth. So continue standing in your power and being moving forward with intention. Try not to question what the spirit's trying to say to you, because they're trying to level you up. They're trying to upgrade you. And if something comes to mind, and if your intuition is adamant about something, listen to it. And yes, I'm calling myself out. There are certain relationships that you can reconcile and give wisdom to make an impact. And the impact that you make might create a bit of uncertainty in calling truth, but you are the walking wake-up call that people need. Specifically people that are not nurturing themselves. It's almost like you're a triple threat sneak attack. And you're quick at resolve and de-escalation. And I don't even think you really have considered that. For all the times that you feel worthless, for all the times where you felt that it wasn't going in your favor, it's because you submitted to it. It was your choice. But the moment that you got up and walked away from the pain and the sorrow and the chaos is when you found out what type of who you were. You're a magician. You have every right and every ability to tap into your inner power and create the stability that you've been searching for. That up to this point has been a huge injustice. But it's now within your grasp, Ryan. But it's the confidence in yourself that is lacking. It's what is ultimately holding you back from you obtaining it. Spirit's saying that you need to focus on yourself and bring a security and a stability to yourself first. And go within, go deep. You could be dealing with a very, very vindictive fire sign that's very selfish and looking to try to sabotage you. but Spirit's saying that you need to take the trash out, so to speak, in order to step forward into this new direction. Someone is playing emotions with your heart and with your reality, holding you back from your journey forward. It's they're using your emotions against you. But you have to go deep to recognize and understand that. And then you'll be able to know how to find resolution. If you allow her to keep you in this self-sabotaging energy, you will be defeated. So you need to build your confidence. Don't allow the opinions of others to dictate who you are and what you stand for. You have the ability to stand up and stand in your power, or I see you very unguarded with your heart, and you end up being in an absolute basket case. So tread lightly, tread very carefully. There's huge potential here for you, but you need to find the confidence to reach out and grab it. You are worthy. Alright, collective. I think that's it for me tonight. I'm having an early night. It's been 112 minutes. And that mediumship really kind of took a lot out of me. And no, Ryan, that does not mean you have to apologize. It wasn't on you. It just normally takes a lot out of me. But part of that is taking out time and resting, Ryan. You can only stand strong for so long. You need to take breaks every once in a while. All in moderation. I love you, tribe. I thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you feel like a personal reading, you can reach out to me on the Hipsy link. It is open. It is raring to go. I'm waiting for you to make a reading happen. So let's go, let's go, let's go. If you want to jump on my little armor shop and grab some merch, by all means, It's waiting for you. So go buy it while you can, before all these dumbass tariffs start happening. Anyway, I love you, and thanks for joining me for tonight's collective. And I wish you only the best blessings of abundance, prosperity, and healing and clarity blanket your life with lots of protection from harm and evil eye. Let it all be transmuted into prosperity, healing, and clarity. Until the next video, if you can't be good at it, at least be good to yourself, so that way you can be good to others. Thank you for joining me. Catch you in the next video.